Hey everyone, thanks for checking out our Sunday Wrap-Up, a weekly recap of the Sunday teaching to allow you the opportunity to gain more insight into what we work through together as a body. We hope you find it beneficial, encouraging, and a tool to allow you to help answer the question, how do we live this out? Welcome everyone to the Sunday Wrap-Up here at Christ Church. Stephen and Patch with you again, and we wanted to say welcome. And if you weren't part of the Sunday teaching, this is an opportunity for you to get kind of caught up and discuss with your small groups if you're talking about that with them, or just to encourage you as an individual. This week we talked about wisdom with our words. We're still in the book of Proverbs, and we talked specifically about how the things that we say matter and how they impact us and other people.
Yeah, so just, kind of ironic, but I'm actually losing my voice. And so I'm going to say very little. But the main phrase that kind of stood out was that our behaviors follow our words, and our words follow our hearts. Again, that's our behaviors follow our words, and our words follow our hearts. And so some of those words, like how they can be manifested, some words can be silent. Some words can be good words. Words can be guarded words. Words can be gentle words. Words can be pleasant. Words can be soothing. Words can be sweet speech or persuasive. There's definitely an appropriate time. So there's an appropriate time for words. And then also words can be bone breaking in terms of gentleness. And so, Patch, kind of expand on some of those things for us.
So those 9 particular areas come from several passages in Proverbs, mostly Proverbs 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, and 25. Not all the scripture, obviously, is coming from there, but we just pulled out some different verses from that, so you guys can go back and look at that. But a few key things that come from that, one being that our speech is a unique gift in that it deliberately affects those who hear them, whether it's ourselves or other people. I was reminded this morning that the words that I say to other people matter, obviously, but equally as much, the words that I say to myself when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, when I'm thinking things out loud, they matter because I'm hearing them and they have an impact on me as well. And so there is a power in that. And it's also important to understand that the motivation behind what we say matters just as much as what we say. That echoes back to what Stephen mentioned earlier, that our words follow our hearts. What's in our heart comes out of our mouth, and that is what is an indication of not only what we're thinking, but what we might be feeling at the time and how we see the situation that we're speaking to, or to the person that we're talking to. And one of the third things that I specifically found from that list that Stephen mentioned is that the words that are spoken, it's a very strategic type of approach. So the speech that we say, it should be strategic and proactive, full of grace and seasoned with salt, very much not reactive, very much the opposite of coming from a place where you just say what's on your mind, because oftentimes what's in our mind is not necessarily appropriate for what we need to say to somebody else. And so it's really important that the things that we say, not only to ourselves but other people, matters. And so the things that we do say have a place of intent. We have to be able to think about how we're saying things, because the end result is that we're representing Jesus. And it's not about just being nice. I mean, Stephen, you mentioned that words can be bone breaking. And I was reminded this morning from someone who said that, like a doctor who has to reset your leg that's been broken in an incorrect way, I guess. I don't know if there's a correct way to break a bone.
Yeah.
But in order to fix it for long-term healing, it has to be broken again, or it has to be broken in a certain way. And the same thing applies to the way in which we are speaking to one another, the way in which we encourage one another, that sometimes our words are bone-breaking. And if the intent is love, and the intent is to reflect the love of Christ and that unification of the body, that's not a bad thing. So we hope that these things are things that you're able to apply to your lives. These are questions that you can ask each other, ask yourselves, what kind of speech do I have? Is my speech gentle? Is it appropriate? Is it intentional? Is it bone breaking? Is it done in a way that reflects the goodness of Christ? And maybe another question to kind of pass along with that is, what is my heart saying right now? And maybe listening to the words that we say is, if we hear what we're saying, is a reflection of what's in our heart. And so maybe that's a good opportunity to do some self-reflection and to ask, what's happening here? So
Agreed.
We hope that you guys have been encouraged. We hope that this has been encouraging for you to hear, and have a good week.
Thanks.